Zeno Clash II, like its predecessor, is completely and totally absurd. It's the kind of game where a two-headed baboon is mounted on a giant buzzard that vomits fireballs while laser beams chase you across a bridge. Yeah, it's that kind of spontaneous absurdity that holds this brawler together to push you through an 8-hour campaign. Some might call it strange, some others bizarre. I just call it a pretty damn good first-person adventure. The truth is, the fantastical land of Zenozoink is just as surreal as it is bizarre and strange. It's an extraordinary and beautiful land to explore with hidden adventures to unearth and awkward denizens to meet. If you're returning from Zeno Clash, you'll feel right at home and will undoubtedly notice the less linear level design right away, and Zeno Clash 2 feels much more like an epic adventure for it, but is somewhat inconsistent. Sometimes the environments look downright stunning, like a whimsical field of dandelions taller than a man. Or carefully placed mysteries begging to be gazed upon that are a treat for the eyes. But the occasional environments can also be colored poorly with muddy textures or host blocky renders, with the only perceivable reason being some areas weren't given the same attention as locations important to the narrative, which is a shame because those story-driven locales are quite amazing. And as far as the tale is concerned, Zeno Clash 2 picks up directly after the events of the first game. The golem has imprisoned Father-Mother for his crimes, and the golem is enforcing changes on Zenozoink that the people find unfavorable. Returning as lead is Ghat, the son who isn't the son to Father-Mother and who wants to remove Golem's influence over Zenozoink, but there's a catch. Somehow all humans are linked to the golem, and when he is hurt, humanity shares in the pain. In other words, it's a game about empathy. And if all that sounds a bit weird, well, then it fits perfectly into Zeno Clash.
We don't care. Go take your jail somewhere else.
When you hurt me, you also hurt yourselves. You are just too primitive to understand any other way.
During Ghat's adventure across the land, mysterious forces will help him only to conceal their motives, and these forces will bestow Ghat with a few items along the way to help him navigate through the trials of Zenozoink. For one, he'll receive a wristband that can harness the power of either the moon or sun. And he'll also receive a golem hand that can link objects' life force together. These pieces of equipment allow Ghat to advance through previously inaccessible areas of Zenozoink, but they also have combat utilities as well. The golem hand, for example, can be used to link foes together so they share in one another's pain, or the wristband can blast enemies. These armaments play into the largest role of realizing Zeno Clash's gameplay. They intertwine into the environments through puzzle solving, and they make combat intelligent while also keeping it fresh. Which is a good thing because it seems like everyone in Zenozoink wants to fight by trading fisticuffs, and luckily the melee combat is extremely enjoyable. There are a variety of different bizarre gun-like weapons, which are vital when you're outnumbered, but when the odds are closer to even, it's more fun to beat the crap out of enemies up close and personal. In addition to weapons, Ghat can also call on allies to join him during larger brawls to even the odds as well. Some allies require a leadership stat to persuade them to join Ghat. Ghat can gain these stat points by finding skull totems placed around Zenozoink. The stats are a welcome but small customization feature. Additional options to build Ghat's fighting abilities in multiple ways would have been ideal. That being said, Zeno Clash 2 doesn't overstay its welcome, and with what it does have, it lasts just about as long as it can without the combat becoming too repetitive. The story, on the other hand, well, it's very interesting, and I was satisfied with the ending, if not for the fact that it left me wanting more. But regardless of the small helping, the second chapter of Ghat's journey through Zenozoink is worth the trip. Besides, where else can you beat the shit out of a bunch of bird people in a brutal yet hilarious fashion?